Betty White came off innocent, but was actually one of The Tonight Show's most comedically dangerous guests. These are Betty White's funniest Tonight Show moments. Female reporter in the locker room.
I must ask you, when your teammates heard that there would be a woman in the locker room tonight, what was their initial reaction?
Well, I'd say generally they were pretty embarrassed.
By the way, where are the other players? Where are the other players?
Oh, most of them are hiding back inside those lockers.
Do you mind having a woman here with you?
No, it's better than having Yogi Berra stare at me.
I noticed a few new faces as I came in. Who is that fellow in the pink bikini briefs?
Oh, that's our switch hitter.
Betty plays the locker room reporter with a calm, professional face that makes the awkward setting even funnier, while Johnny reacts like the situation is getting away from him. The Malibu restaurant sketch.
Looks like you should have slipped away to the little boys' room.
How are your cocktails?
I got a little wet.
Oh, well, it is normal along the coast at this time of year.
Oh.
The fog.
Go on, fog. Just a little fog.
Oh, those waves look like you could reach right out and touch them.
Betty turns polite social behavior into a quiet comedy trap by letting the awkwardness grow line by line rather than entering with loud energy, recounting Johnny's own jokes back at him.
I think the last thing we did was the famous restaurant sketch from Malibu during the high tides a few years ago, when all the water was coming through.
We did several of the Mighty Carson art players. Yes. Every time Johnny gets the end to take his clothes off, he calls me. And we either do the first lady in the locker room or
we did the Tarzan sketch, Adam and Eve.
Adam and Eve and the water thing.
Well, there are certain people you feel have an affinity for.
That's nice. Old broads are the best, don't you think?
No, I didn't say that.
Betty's 1986 appearance gets hilarious when she starts presenting Carson's own old punchlines back to him like a perfectly organized audit, as Johnny laughs partly at the jokes and partly at how well she remembers them. White and Carson talking about their working history.
The whole party had been given because her guest of honor was Johnny Carson. And of course, everybody, Sue Ann nearly went ape, when she heard that was it. And you never saw him. It was literally a complete blackout.
I think that people really thought all they heard was the voice, and it was the strangest feeling, working in the dark and getting laughs.
Absolutely. And he was
No, I've done that before.
On second thought.
On second thought, that's
Just
the second time.
reminiscing.
Gee, that show was so good.
And you didn't have to put your makeup on or your lashes or anything?
Walked in just like this and did it.
Betty and Johnny discussing their long history together has the comfort of two performers who don't need to prove anything as Johnny tries to frame the conversation like a warm memory lane segment. But Betty keeps finding little ways to sharpen it. The Adam and Eve sketch.
Well, we did live together here for a number of years.
So?
Frankly, I feel I should be compensated for that time.
You gotta be kidding. We were never legally married.
No, but I performed wifely chores. I cooked, I cleaned, I took in the inseam on your fig leaf.
Why didn't you just get me a smaller fig leaf?
They don't grow that small.
Betty plays Eve like a woman who has heard every excuse Adam can make, while Johnny leans into the innocent husband energy, giving her the perfect target for every dry little jab. The Tarzan and Jane sketch.
Again?
Not Tarzan's fault.
Johnny's Tarzan energy is stiff and funny, while Betty gives Jane a confidence that keeps undercutting his jungle hero act as her reactions make his performance even sillier than the costume already does. Betty's elephant falls for Johnny.
roughhouse with an elephant.
Sure. Tell her to go to hell.
Betty brings an elephant onto The Tonight Show, and the animal quickly becomes the biggest personality on stage as Johnny's cautious reactions make the segment even better, while Betty looks completely comfortable next to it. Betty and Joan Rivers going at each other.
I've been without power, you should excuse it, at the house since Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock.
Because of the rainstorm?
Because of the, well, I guess that, unless somebody pulled my plug, but it's... It is just, it's been freezing, and you don't realize the number of things you do electrically. It's so lonely.
I know my Christmas gift to you, that would be a lot of D-cell batteries.
Betty and Joan Rivers become a verbal tennis match from the first few seconds as Joan brings her sharp attack style, but Betty answers with a sweetness that makes every insult cut cleaner. Betty never looks like she's working hard, even while matching Joan's pace, as she waits just long enough to make her return line feel effortless with Joan firing fast, and Betty's delay making the return land with more weight than a faster response could have produced. The hilarious 1987 appearance.
Great. I mean, somebody had left her a big ranch. So she went out there, and we have a forest fire, we have horse thieves, we have a handsome cowboy, we have a setter dog, of course, named Rusty. But I evidently ran into a little plot problem because I didn't know quite how to handle it. So I had a wonderful idea. She woke up, it was all a dream. Jeff was well. And do you know that they stole that idea?
White's October 1987 appearance shows how easily she could carry a couch segment without needing a sketch or an animal guest, as she walks in with that familiar bright energy, then immediately starts turning ordinary answers into small punchlines. White with Jay Leno and Johnny.
Yeah, it was a radio and television
The
system.
Chicago Museum of Broadcasting, which is a marvelous place. We went all through it. They made me their Woman of the Year. They had a week-long retrospective, and they were showing...
You wouldn't even... You don't feel comfortable saying that, do you?
Well, it's...
You kind of went, they made me Woman of the Year?
Well, I mean, it really is kind of dumb, but on Michigan...
No, it's not dumb. You've had a... Yeah, don't worry about next year.
Betty sitting with Jay Leno and Johnny gives the segment a fun three-person rhythm. As Johnny has his classic dry control, Jay brings a younger comic presence, and Betty slips between them with perfect ease without needing to dominate loudly. The funniest parts come when both men seem aware that Betty can turn the conversation with one gentle sentence, as her warmth keeps the exchange friendly, while her timing gives it genuine bite.
You've had a marvelous career in this business.
Well, they had things running all week long, and, you know, they run all your stuff, and things that I forgot I even had done, and some of them I was glad to have forgotten that I had done. But then they, and around the hotel on Michigan Avenue, they had big signs that said, Museum of Broadcasting, salute to Betty White. My mother and father came from Chicago. They would have been so thrilled to see that. That was really something.
That's nice.
And I threw out the first ball at the Cubs game.
You did?
From the pitcher's mound, I'll have you know. And I did.
Johnny looks especially amused by how naturally she handles the added energy from Jay, showing that the three-person couch format gave her more surfaces to work with rather than creating any kind of crowding problem. She waits for the exact moment to make each line land while letting both men set up the next opening without ever appearing to wait for anything. The November 1981 interview.
I thank you for going through this madness with us.
Oh, that's always such fun.
It's like the early days of television when you've got about an hour to put a sketch together and you get up and you go.
You do, and all of a sudden I got up there and you saw that glazed look come over, and I dropped a line because just as I went to inhale, I had stashed the tape down in there, and unlike your friend that goes trick-or-treating, I felt something slip, and I had visions of it popping out, and my mind went blank.
That makes no difference.
We had fun.
Betty's 1981 interview gives Johnny another chance to sit across from someone who can make softness feel genuinely dangerous, as she answers with that familiar smile, then slips in a response that changes the whole temperature of the exchange without announcing the shift in advance.
I was out lining up the animals and the guests and the sound and the models and all the stuff that you do in a show like that, and it's not my thing at all.
Yeah, but you're involved with the...
With the animals,
the
I
animals,
am. Yeah, the animals I can do. We're going to have... There's going to be Joan Crawford's outfit, for instance, a wonderful thing that Edith Head designed for her, and I thought for that I'd have Doberman Pinschers, maybe.
That would be nice, yes.
Now, don't be ugly about Doberman pinches.
No.
Johnny often looks like he's enjoying the fact that he can't fully predict where she'll take a question, which is a specific kind of host pleasure that only the most comfortable guests ever produce.
About 30 years to live TV, wasn't it?
What is this, a quiz on what?
Before my time.
Animals?
This is nature, fact or fiction, true or false. You can't go too far wrong. Elephants live to be several hundred years old.
That's wrong.
Okay,
They don't.
You've made that one.
70 or 80.
An elephant usually shows signs of senility at 50, like some of the rest of us, and a centenarian is rare.
50?
Fact
What was that
or
again?
fiction?
Oh, excuse me.
That's right, I forgot.
The humor comes from the way Betty can make a polite answer sound slightly mischievous without ever fully committing to the mischief, which keeps the impression of sweetness intact while the actual comedy operates underneath it. She doesn't need a sketch costume or animal guest to make the segment work, since her timing turns regular couch conversation into a chain of small, comic surprises that accumulate through the appearance. It's one of her underrated Carson appearances, since it shows how funny she could be with nothing more than a chair, a question, and a perfectly placed pause that makes the whole room wonder which direction she's actually going.
Only the female mosquito sucks blood. The male is content with nectar and other plant juices.
Well, that doesn't call for any additional comment.
Nectar never laid a glove on her. Fact or fiction? Squirrels have an accurate memory for the places where they have buried nuts.
The 1981 clip also captures something specific about Betty's relationship with Carson's format, which is that she understood it well enough to work slightly against its expected rhythms without ever breaking them entirely. Her ability to maintain the warmth and friendliness of the standard couch guest format while sneaking comedy in through the gaps shows a performer who had spent years studying exactly where the jokes were hiding in plain conversation. Betty and Joan Rivers go another round.
Yeah, that's okay. You look great. So then I have to walk into the light for the first time in front of the brass. And they said, yeah.
They know me, too.
They all do. Except there's one fellow in sales that I'm not too sure of.
Now, let me ask you, what's the new show about?
You would love this. It's just men, exclamation point,
yes.
And me. And I love the odds. If I could get rid of the 2 lady contestants, I'd be in wonderful shape. But it's 2 girl contestants and 7 young stars.
This second Joan and Betty Tonight Show moment gives a longer look at the same comic chemistry that made their shorter segment so replayable, as Joan comes in fast and aggressive, while Betty answers with a lighter touch that still lands with the same force as anything delivered at Joan's pace. The contrast is what makes the entire exchange so reliably funny, with Joan throwing punches and Betty smiling as she returns them in a way that makes the return feel like it arrived from somewhere else entirely.
Various shows, nighttime shows and daytime shows and soap operas and stuff. And the girls ask them questions about anything but the subject that we're looking for. And based on their answers, the girls try to figure out how they feel about, lots of things, like how they answered, what do they think about palimony or being a kept man, or did they sleep with a teddy bear as a child? Things, we're not going to solve World War III. We're not really going to do that, but we're going to have fun in the process.
What question do the men hate to answer?
If they're married.
Oh, well, we both know about that one for a long time.
Oh, I know.
Betty's timing feels almost casual, which makes her lines sneak up on the room before the audience has fully processed the previous joke and moved on. Both women clearly respect each other's speed, and that mutual respect lets the jokes get sharper with each exchange rather than settling into a predictable rhythm the audience can anticipate. Joan's faster, more aggressive style sets up the tempo, while Betty's lighter returns consistently land harder than Joan's delivery. Since the contrast does work, that speed alone couldn't accomplish on its own.
They try to help me so much that I really appreciate it.
How?
It's going to be fun. I mean, they try to give you the answers. They don't just sit there and say, or look at me, I'm gorgeous. They really try to participate.
I'm so sorry to hear that, because I always like to think a really great-looking guy is stupid, No, it cheers you up. Then they don't answer to you, who cares? He's dumb,
That's right, he's dumb.
Right, sure.
Strong silence just means dumb.
It's dumb. That's why, every time I see Bo Derek, I say, let her be stupid, God.
Oh, yes, please. Oh.
Betty never seems rattled, even when Joan pushes the pace, which is the specific quality that made these pairings so watchable, since the audience spent the whole segment waiting for Betty to reach her limit and discovering she didn't seem to have one. This closing Joan and Betty segment belongs at the end of the list, since it captures exactly what made Betty White so special across 50 years of television appearances, which is a performer who could be the funniest person in any room she entered without ever appearing to be trying to win it. Betty White created unforgettable Tonight Show moments across 5 decades of appearances by making every sketch interview and couch exchange funnier than it had any right to be, through timing, patience, and the specific comic confidence of someone who always knew exactly where the next laugh was hiding. These 13 moments reminded audiences everywhere why she became one of the most beloved entertainers in television history. Which Betty White Johnny Carson moment made you laugh? Comment which one below and subscribe for more funny moments like this.